So your Nissan's got that check engine light on, and the code reader is screaming P0500 at you. I get it, it can be super frustrating, but hey, don't worry. Today, we're going to break down this really common code, figure out what it means, and walk you through exactly how to fix it.
That little glowing engine on the dash. Nobody likes seeing that thing pop up, right? And getting a cryptic code like P0500 doesn't exactly help calm the nerves. But here's the good news. This is one of the more straightforward problems you can run into.
So what is this code actually trying to tell you? Well, in plain English, P0500 means there's a hiccup in the vehicle's speed sensor circuit. Your car's brain, the ECM, has basically lost the signal that tells it how fast you're going. It's kind of flying blind when it comes to your speed.
Now, before your mind starts racing to $1,000 repair bills, just take a deep breath. You talk to experienced mechanics, and they'll tell you the same thing. The vast majority of the time, this is a super common and very fixable problem.
And honestly, here's the best part. The thing that usually causes this, it's shockingly cheap. The sensor itself, we're talking maybe 10 to 20 bucks. This is absolutely not a repair that's going to break the bank.
Okay, so let's connect the dots. Let's talk about that P0500 code and what it actually looks like from behind this steering wheel. What are the symptoms you're probably seeing right now?
Does any of this look familiar? The biggest giveaway, of course, is a speedometer that's just dead, stuck at 0. But since so many other systems in your car rely on that speed data, you might also see other warning lights pop on, like for your ABS or traction control. Or maybe you've noticed your automatic transmission is shifting really weird and harsh. To really get why this happens, just think of the vehicle's speed sensor, the VSS, as a storyteller. It's constantly reporting to the car's computer, telling it exactly how fast the wheels are turning. And if that storyteller goes silent, well, other parts, like the transmission and the speedometer, just don't know what they're supposed to do. Okay, so we know the symptoms. Now, let's play detective. What's actually causing the P0500 code to show up in the first place? This chart tells a really clear story. A whopping 75% of the time, that's 3 out of every 4 cars with this code, the problem is just the vehicle speed sensor itself or the wiring connected to it. All those other potential causes? Yeah, they're way, way less common. So how can you tell if it's a bad sensor or bad wiring? Well, a failing sensor might give you a jumpy, erratic speedometer that kind of works sometimes. But bad wiring, that often means the signal is just gone. Your speedometer is a total brick. And here's a huge clue. If this problem started right after you hit a massive pothole, you should definitely be looking at the wiring first. All right, you've seen the symptoms, you know the most likely causes. Now for the fun part, let's get into your step-by-step guide to actually diagnosing and fixing this yourself. The very first thing you need to do is find the sensor. On pretty much every Nissan out there, the VSS is mounted somewhere on the transmission. Since the exact spot can be a little different depending on your model and year, a quick search online will show you exactly where to look. Once you've found it, your most powerful diagnostic tool is your own 2 eyes. Seriously, start with a really good visual inspection. Is the wiring harness plugged in all the way? Do you see any wires that look frayed, chewed on, or melted? Look really closely at the connector for any of that green or white crusty corrosion. Sometimes the fix is as simple as just plugging it back in securely. Next, please do not overlook this simple but crucial step. Grab your owner's manual, find the fuse box, and just check for any blown fuses that have to do with the speedometer or the ABS system. It might be a long shot, but this 5-minute check could save you a massive headache. Now, for those of you with a few more tools in the garage, you can go a step further. A good scan tool will let you watch the live data from the sensor. You can have a friend spin the wheels and see if it's sending a signal at all. Or you could break out a multimeter and test for power and ground right at the sensor's connector to confirm the wiring is okay. So, if the wiring looks perfect and your fuses are all good, then the sensor itself becomes the prime suspect. And the good news is, replacing it is usually super simple. It's typically held in place by just one little bolt. You just unplug the connector, undo that one bolt, pull the old sensor out, and pop the new one in. Pro tip, it's probably worth it to get a recognized name brand part for better reliability.
Whew, all right, we have covered a lot of ground. So let's just quickly boil it all down to the most important points you need to take away from this.
Here are the key things to remember. First, don't panic. P0500 is very common and almost always cheap to fix. Second, always check the wiring first. A loose connection can act just like a failed sensor. Third, the VSS itself is the #1 most likely part to have failed.
And finally, once you're done with your repair, make sure you clear the code with a scan tool and then take the car for a drive to confirm you nailed it.
So, armed with all this knowledge, that check engine light doesn't seem quite so intimidating anymore, does it? Whether you decide to tackle this repair in your own driveway or just have a much more informed conversation with your mechanic, you are now in control. You've got this.